Today we are here with wedding planner Shannon Whitney from Wedding Planning Plus, and today we're going to talk about trends, not just trends that are across the nation in weddings, but local trends for here in the Capital District. So Shannon, what are some trends that you see as a wedding planner locally here?
Yeah, there's, every couple is planning a different wedding, but there are definitely some trends that I see that have come through over the last couple of years for weddings that are taking place in this area.
Excellent.
So one of the things that I see a lot of couples going is for more of a non-traditional wedding. So
okay, what do you mean?
They don't want the cookie cutter style. They don't want the 5 hours that's set in this block like everybody else. They kind of want to make it a little custom for themselves.
Okay, what's an example of a non-traditional?
Actually, I have a wedding coming up this summer where the couple has decided that instead of having their cocktail hour after their ceremony, they're going to break it up and have part of their cocktail hour before the ceremony.
I love it. They're actually going to do the cocktail hour before the ceremony.
Yes.
Yes. That's going to make a very relaxed and laid-back atmosphere.
It is, and they're going to join in on cocktail hour. So
the bride and groom will be there.
They will be there, yep.
That's great.
So they're going to be there to mingle with their guests,
yeah.
to be able to have a relaxing exchange, and really make it sort of personal and family and intimate.
Yeah.
So everyone's going to gather, have a cocktail and a bite to eat, and then they're going to take their seats for the ceremony, and then watch the ceremony happen.
That's an excellent example of non-traditional. What other trends are you seeing?
A lot of couples are going and simplifying their weddings.
Simplifying, okay.
Yeah. So I think there will always be the big grand events and the big hoopla.
Yes.
But we're seeing a lot of people who are trying to scale things down to what's most important for them.
Okay.
So whether that's because of budget or just because of personal preference, we're seeing things like smaller guest lists.
Okay.
Or smaller bridal parties or no bridal parties at all. So people that are just, instead of it having be this 200 people looking at me kind of event, they're bringing it to something more intimate. And
we actually had a wedding this past fall that was actually on a Thursday.
Yep.
And they only had 20 guests that were there. But every single person that was there was very, very meaningful to them.
Absolutely.
That's excellent.
Yep.
Okay, so that's a great trend as well as simplifying. Simplifying. Do you have any other trends that you're noticing?
Yep, there's one more that I want to talk about, and that is really having couples focus on the guest experience when they're planning their wedding.
What do you mean by that?
So, there was a time, and will always be a time, that brides and grooms are going to their friends' weddings, taking note of everything, and then deciding how they're going to do it better. So that'll always be the case, but we're definitely seeing a lot of couples who are thinking about their guests and their guest experience when they're planning.
What's an example of that?
One example is the late night food stations.
Oh, I love that.
So these are very, very popular.
Okay.
You have your guests who have been dancing and enjoying that open bar for the last 4 hours and could use a little food in their bellies. So we're not only is that a popular option, but people are going a little custom with it. So for instance, I have a wedding coming up in May, and they're bringing in a wood fire pizza oven.
Oh, that's outstanding.
Yeah,
that's outstanding. So I assume with all of these going non-traditional, simplifying things down and focusing on the guests, that if brides and grooms needed help, you could potentially help them with this.
I could.
Excellent.
Yes.
So how can they find you?
You can find me on my website. It's weddingplanningplus.net, or on any of the social media channels, just type in Wedding Planning Plus or my name, Shannon Whitney, and I'm sure you can find me.
Excellent, Shannon. Well, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
That's it for Bigler Bridal Tips for this week. Check back soon for more great info. Instead of a one-on-one conversation, it's a three-way conversation with this weird person that's just sitting right here.
Okay.
Hey.
Which is great. You rolling all three?
Yeah.
You've insulted Andrew.